having some fun flipping Ethereum burgers. What was really interesting about this is check this out. I mean, this was it was so cliche this morning. So this was your New York Kill Zone, what we like to call, the North American opening. And they just dumped it and just broke a ton of hearts here through this. So typical. But what I found interesting was Foggenbaum. First off, for people in our education program later on, level oneers, they'll be learning about things like the parking garage. So I would expect price to dump into there. Fun little tools that I've learned through this whole sickness market, chaos theory. Really interesting that 2.618. It's always a question of how and where you sort of draw these. Anyway, so I had a fun little trade where I just bought basically that 2.618 beautiful foggy boggy level there. And the market actually put in a fantastic bottom through that. Couldn't believe it. It was super cool how this is so cliche, and that, like I said, this is like a New York liquidity event zone, and they dumped it into a level, and I just stepped up and said, you know what, I got to pull the trigger on that level. Let's see what happens. We were talking a little bit later how even more impressive reload zone off of a foggy boggy level. Oh my goodness, what a trade level. And then also too, we were talking about how harmonically, you often see this, right? They'll dump the market, everybody's thinking bear, they're all emotional, and then they go and paint an M here, and all the new people that are trading, they're all like roaring bearish. And I even looked at this and went, uh-oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the goddamn market stops right off of that level and then turns right back up. It's quite remarkable. So anyway, first one off at the 50% rule, which I think is a good idea. Then the second one got a little bit greedy on that. Check this out. This is when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. Question is, how the heck am I going to draw this? I think what I did was I went off of this range. That low up there, that high there, and chaos. Yeah, it was something along those lines. And especially with this M here, how exactly you draw this Foggenbaum off of this, I don't know. But I did like this kind of idea that I'm going to use the most recent sort of push lower. I don't know whether, I'm sure there's a specific name to it. But, I think maybe it's the FU wave. I'm actually surprised they didn't take out that low. But anyway, 2.618, then 50% rule. I always like the idea. It's a good idea to take some profits at the 50% rule. And then I threw the other order up at the 4.669. And what was fascinating is you can see the market sort of started to waffle. So if anything, it's a good idea. I hopped off on that 50% tag. Yeah, because you never know. I mean, this thing could have flaked out and came all the way back down. But what was really interesting about this is if you did your little foggy buggies going the other way, actually did tag that 2.618. And quite often what'll end up happening, I've noticed with these Foggenbaums, it's weird. It's sort of like it plays ping pong back and forth. So you can see how we kind of went there down to here, but maybe like that. So down to there. So quite often we'll hit that foggy buggy. And then you notice in this particular case, I think what happened was they hit that, and then we went right back up. So it's almost like, and actually I'll probably go this way. It's almost like, no, I'm done. And then I suppose you could argue at this point, right, that there's a war going on, because now with this pullback here against these lows, you can now start doing Foggenbaums heading up. So quite often I've found, it's just personal observation, if you blow through one Foggenbaum, odds are we're actually heading like straight up to this next one. So I guess nice cluster confluence of Foggenbaums up in this area. And then if we just do, our good old, actually, there's the 50% rule. But if we change this to our reload zone, what do you think the odds are? This is like 78.6 to 88.6 area. So probably pretty good. The crypto reload zone. I think that's what I'll call it from now on. So boom. Yep, there you go. So anytime you're up in 78.6 to 88.6 and you got like two fogging bombs staring you in the face, odds are we're probably going to top out. In this particular case, you let them have one, move your stop to scratch on the remaining, and then this is sort of like a home run trade. I just dangled it out there up against the old highs. Markets, they usually say range about 70-80% of the time. So odds are probably it's going to stall out. Now, having said that, if I had three cars on, I think I probably would have let another one go here and then just used either three high-low method or just had my stop at scratch, which probably would have just been hit here on this event way over here, and I would have walked away on the third one at scratch. That is interesting what they're doing here. It's almost like as we were getting ready for the video, I was all proud of myself for this trade, and then we noticed, hey, it looks like they're doing exactly the same damn thing. The only problem with this, though, is this kind of smells, right? You can't go to the well too many times in this game. So you would like to see this turn up. I mean, if you're going to take a shot, that's an interesting level to take a shot. In this case, I guess it's the 4669 level that this thing's trying to bottom off of. You probably kind of like 50% roll. My hunch is, had you taken this trade off of these levels, and of course, look at this beautiful reload zone setup down here. But, just like this one, probably the smart thing to do is pay yourself a little bit. Just make sure you can keep the rent on or the electricity on and all that kind of talk, right? So letting one go on this rally here probably would have been the judicious thing. And I suppose had you either bought an interesting look at this, what a coincidence. I often see this happen too. Notice 4669 and this fractal. The fractal buy signal actually basically is that 4669 level. Right? There's the 3-bar fractal signal. And actually, we even saw this yesterday. This was a really interesting anecdote yesterday. So at this point right here, man, I thought that the market was just going to puke right out because we were moving through this low. We had lower highs and lower lows. And it was fascinating to watch the market just stopped on a dime, came screaming back to this trend line. And you can see the war that developed off of it. Just incredible battle. I totally thought that was going to puke right out there. So I got a little bit fortunate. I bought in here and I was able to hop off up here. Then you can see it looks like I got a little bit early expecting bottom to come in against these lows. And it came back in on the buy side in here. Anyway, so it's fascinating. I guess what I meant was just that uptrend line. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some games around it. So if we go back to right now, like yesterday. So there's that uptrend line. What are they going to do around this? My rule is I really want to see like an actual full-blown M. And what often happens is I'll get suckered. And oh man, I hate it. I mean, I tell you, the reason why I have these rules is because I've made so many trades and made so many mistakes. So eventually, hopefully, I learn from all my goddamn mistakes. So, like that historically would get me all bearish. But I don't think that's enough. So there it is. That'd be interesting to see how this plays out. There's your dump. Now, does it quick? Yeah, look at that. I hate when they do that. So what I wouldn't be surprised is, this is an A, B, C, D. This is the objective. You go short right here, you could be trapped. And I hate when they do that to you, right? It's like going short on the break here. You look like a genius for like 2 minutes. Then you look like a total idiot. I hate it. And then they'll just like flirt around with you. You're underwater. Oh, do you want to come back to scratch? Oh, no, 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 I'm underwater again. Oh, back to scratch. Oh, no, I'm underwater. No, no. Okay, look. Oh, you're so smart, aren't you? Okay. This was the right trade. This was the right thing. And then kapow, huge move against you. Oh, look. I knew it. I knew that was it. Look at what they're doing, the bastards. Wow, totally called that. What do you think? Is that edutainment or what?